Check the coyote out for the morning briefing here. What the heck is going on? Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, where even the coyotes are out for the morning briefing this morning. It's great to be with you all. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have got off the hook fishing here in Southern California. We're going to go down to Northern Baja, California. Check that out also. But the tuna bite, the bluefin tuna bite, is off the hook for Southern California anglers. We are so blessed, so lucky to have this fishery at our disposal. It is tremendous. Also, some incredible long-range fishing, including a 64-pound white sea bass, great wahoo fishing, and the yellowfin tuna put on a show for the Independence yesterday. We'll check on the Channel Islands. We'll check on San Clemente Island. We'll check on Catalina Island. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. It is so great to be with you all. That coyote skedaddled when it saw me. It hadn't seen anything so terrifying in its life before, so it got the heck out of here. Man, I'll tell you, we had some great shows yesterday. I highly recommend you go back and watch the Danny Cadota show. Danny's been a captain for decades upon decades. He shares his knowledge with you and answers your questions. And then last night, of course, Sam De La Torre and Tackle Shop Confessions. Both are archived and available for you right now. Tonight at 7 p.m., you're not going to want to miss details about the Battle of Los Angeles, a group of great men and women who are helping inner city kids to fish. But they've got a great day planned for you. You'll find out more about it tonight. 7 p.m., the show will premiere right here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Can't wait to bring you that. All right, let's get into it because there is so much to cover. And I mean, really some great fishing. We'll go south of the border first of all, and we'll check out what's going on down in Mexico Lindo. And down there in the Bay of Los Angeles, we have heard from some of our dearest friends who've been down there recently, and it's been off the hook Dorado fishing. Great Dorado bite in the Bahia de Los Angeles right now, as well as some great yellowtail fishing. And if you want to catch cabrilla or even those giant baqueta in the deep water, you can do that also. Really great fishing in the Bahia de Los Angeles. Now, Cedros Island, also where you fly in and fish there, it's been off the hook. Wonderful yellowtail fishing. It can't get any better. You want to catch them on bait. You want to catch them on surface iron. You want to catch them on yo-yo iron. I think that you could catch them with some really crazy stuff. It's that wide open right now. It's really great fishing. And I know several of you are going to be going with island fishing tackle. Tim Marquez is one of those guys here. Pretty darn soon, and you're going to have a great trip. I can't wait to hear about all the wonderful fishing. Now, in Ensenada, I just talked to Louis Prieto. He's heading out on It's For Real Sport Fishing. He's going to go down and fish Santo Tomas Reef, and he said he'll have updates for us. The Ensenada area offshore has been very poor here recently, but there's some good inshore fishing. Offshore, tough to find a bluefin that wants to bite, and it's tough to find a kelp patty holding any yellowtail. There were some occasional Dorado, but we're not seeing it right now. That could all change in a moment's notice. Hopefully it will do that really soon. But you've got that inshore rockfish, which been absolutely off the hook. Great rock fishing going on right now down there in Ensenada. And great barracuda fishing. Sometimes it's a morning bite, sometimes that barracuda bites in the afternoon, and sometimes it's both. And there's some nice stovepipes, some log barracuda, along with some smaller fish also. And they are iron biters. They love to bite the jigs, whether it's a surface iron or even a yo-yo iron. They will bite that full speed. Great barracuda action. Also quite a bit of yellowtail around town. There's some small, I want to say 5-pound fish, even smaller than that. And then there's some fish that get up to 20 pounds underneath bird skulls. It has been great inshore. Hopefully the offshore season will come together as the fall normally brings us our best weather months for northern Baja and southern California, as well as some really exceptional fishing with a variety moving in. We'll have to see because we're under the influence of a La Nina, and a La Nina means cooler water. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. Sometimes you get anomalies, even during a La Nina, where you'll get warm water pockets, and in those pockets, you get yellowfin tuna and dorado and so much more. We'll continue to watch it, but we love what's happening down there. Don't forget to hit that like button, share these videos with a friend, subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. The long-range situation has been spectacular. It has been an outstanding year. The Royal Polaris back in with a great catch here recently. The XL. I'm not even going to mention all the boats because I'm telling you right now, every single long-range boat that has been going on these 7 and 8 day trips have been reporting phenomenal fishing on yellowfin tuna, on wahoo, on yellowtail, and a mix of other fish. The Royal Star had a 64-pound white sea bass. Many guys going into the Baja coast and scoring white sea bass on these longer trips here recently, along with yellowtail and calico bass. It's been phenomenal. Kind of guys that wrap up their trips by going in to the Baja coast. Yesterday on the Independence, what a trip they had. It was full speed, wide open on the yellowfin tuna in the 25 to 50-pound class. Captain Brian Pfeiffer of the Independence said, Phil, they ate anything, everything we threw at them. Heavy line, light line, bait, jigs, poppers. It was an incredible bite, no question about it. Right now, the Independence, and I just talked to them a moment ago, down a little bit further down the coast, and they're looking for a wahoo bite or some more yellowtail. They really had their share of the yellowfin tuna on that day. I mean, they really put the hurt on them. Speaking of some really great wahoo fishing, 44 who on the Intrepid yesterday. They fished the Alijos Rocks area and had great fishing on the who. You can see the sizes, some of those fish really sizable, really big who. Those things are so much fun to catch. They are so fast and they are so good to eat. I mean, it's a win-win-win deal. Long range, San Diego, 7 to 9 day trips right now. Absolutely spectacular. It's really great fishing that is going on. Hey, don't forget, if you have unfiled taxes or any tax problems at all, Tim Marquez can handle that for you right now. Give him a call. Or if you have heating and or air conditioning needs, there's nobody better than John Lopez over there at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. Give John a call. All right, let's talk about this bluefin. I have already talked to boats on Tanner and Cortez. A little breezy, not bad though. Pretty darn nice weather right now. I've already talked to guys, and it's biting here on Tuesday morning. Excellent fishing on the bluefin tuna. Most of it, 10 to 30 pounds. Occasional big fish like up to 100 pounds on a kite or even a fly line bait. But it is flat, great fishing. And it seems like it's going to continue here today. From the word I'm getting, I talked to 3 boats, and they're all seeing fish, all getting bit already, and it's early. Let me tell you, I mean, it's so early. The coyotes are wandering around Surfside, California. Fluorocarbon, a must. A good hot bait, a must. And fishing 25 and 30-pound fluoro seems to be the best way to get a bite right now. Sometimes you can go up and fish heavier if you get into a full speed bite. And sometimes you're going to want to go down and fish lighter line to get that bite. It makes all the difference in the world. A good friend of Friedman Adventures and a guy that is such a great host when he has a charter is Steve Duncan Bugman. And Steve, what a trip you had on the Ocean Odyssey. Way to go. People are raving about the crew on the Ocean Odyssey. Rick Scott does such a great job, and they had such a wonderful trip with limits of bluefin tuna and 70 plus on the yellowtail. You know, we're talking about this bluefin out there on Tanner and Cortez, but you're also getting some tremendous scores on the yellowtail. The bluefin, once again, 10 to 30 pounds with occasional bigger fish. The yellows, I want to say, are 15 to 25 pounds with some bigger fish also. And those forkies, those yellowtail, they're not only biting a fly line bait, they're biting the surface iron at times. They're biting the yo-yo iron. It has been flat spectacular. Thunderbird, Davies Locker, limits of bluefin tuna. The Amigo out of 22nd Street Landing with tremendous fishing out there. Now, just to make it clear, I'm only mentioning a few boats because it would get redundant. Most guys are able to get there 2 bluefin tuna, 2 fish per angler per day limits with great ease right now. And that is boats from San Diego all the way up to Ventura. All of these boats in that geographical area can reach Tanner Cortez Bank on day-and-a-half trips right now. It's spectacular. It really is a special time of the year, and I don't see it slowing down. I think it's going to get better. We may add some yellowfin tuna to the mix. We may add some dorado. Again, we're juggling water temperatures in this La Nina phenomena. We'll see how that all plays out as we go along. But I am loving what we are seeing right now. Let's take a look at our islands right now. The Coronado Islands have been sputtering a little bit, but they did anything but sputter yesterday as the San Diego out of C4 Sport Fishing in San Diego. And we had this for you last night on our Tackle Shop Confession Show as one of our great viewers put up a post about the San Diego catching a buck 12, 112 yellowtail on board the San Diego yesterday. That is flat grade fishing. They bit the bait, 25-pound fluorocarbon. You can go heavier than that, right on up to the 40 surface iron, yo-yo iron. It all worked fantastically on board the San Diego, the Coronado Islands, putting on a show that I haven't seen in decades. Great fishing there. Some of this is down there on the rock pile is a wannabe island that is at the end of South Cal Bridge. So what you have is you have North Island, then you have the middle grounds, and then you have South Island, and then there's a ridge called South Kelp Ridge that runs down to what we call the rock pile. And we call that all kind of the Coronado Islands. And down there around the rock pile, guys are sonaring and metering around, finding fish, shutting down, and then telling you to get a bait in the water or an iron in the water. And that has been the game plan, and it has been coming to fruition as it did beautifully on board the San Diego yesterday. Tremendous yellowtail action at the Coronado Islands. Fingers crossed that that happens again here today. You know, San Clemente Island, I'll tell you, it's so close to Tanner and Cortez Bank that most guys are out there. But some guys go in there, and when they do, they find outstanding calico bass fishing. There's still squid in Pyramid Cove, so you have a chance at white sea bass and yellowtail fishing. The dropper loop, 50-pound with an 8-ounce torpedo and a big hook like a 5-0 or a 7-0 trocar, eagle claw hook. That's what we recommend. And man, I'll tell you, that has been fantastic. It's such a great way to get a bite. So Clemente is good. And then as you wander around the island, I mentioned the calico bass, but you'll catch more yellowtail and barracuda. It has been spectacular. At Catalina Island, we've got some really great weather. It's beautiful out there at Cat right now. The El Patron yesterday, good bass fishing. They had around 60 calico bass. They also hooked and lost several yellowtail, wishing they could have caught a few more. Pick a bonita, pick a barracuda on most days out there at Catalina Island. Decent fishing, and you definitely going to want to drop that mono down, or I should say fluoro down, to 15 when fishing the calico bass. Problem is, you might hook a yellowtail, and then you know what happens. They lost quite a few fish. Some guys fishing light line. 20-pound in most cases is going to get it done for you, but if you really want to see your hookups go upward on the calico bass, you're going to want to fish as light a line as possible and choose a really good hot bait. You can get on the El Patron, and I highly recommend you do it. We love the El Patron. She's speedy, she's beautiful, the galley is great, and the crew fantastic. You can't beat fishing on the El Patron, and weekdays are the best time to go because there's less boat pressure at Catalina Island. www.longbeachsportfishing.org to get on the El Patron. Santa Barbara Island's been fantastic for Tom Doerr. Tom's running the Pescador out of Redondo Sport Fishing on a recent trip. Nick Ramirez was on there. They had wide open barracuda and calico bass. They went 3 for 8 on the big yellowtail. As we mentioned to you yesterday, they had a 300-pound black sea bass caught and released to put on quite a show for everybody. Tom's running there out of Redondo. He's been doing great. He's a good friend of mine, works hard, and knows the Southern California coast and islands better than just about anyone. Up there in the Channel Islands, we continue to wait for another white sea bass or halibut score. We've seen pretty good halibut fishing going on up there in that neck of the woods, mixed in some white sea bass and also tremendous rock fishing up there in that neck of the woods. Over the weekend, the Island Spirit had absolutely fantastic rock fishing. They had 49 anglers on their Kids Fish Free Sunday, 490 rockfish. Everybody went home with a nice big sack of fillets. You can't beat that. And again, up there we're seeing some halibut, we're seeing some white sea bass, and then we're seeing some okay fishing, not that great. Picking at the calico bass and sand bass, picking at the barracuda up there in that neck of the woods. So it's kind of in between right now. We'll see what Tucker McCombs can pull off on the Endeavor here today. I'm suspecting that a big score is on the horizon on halibut once again, and he's had tremendous fishing out of Ventura Sport Fishing. You can get on board the Island Spirit, and that's another boat that Friedman Adventures truly loves. She's so roomy. He's got such a great crew. The fishing opportunities are endless. You fish with Captain Daniel Hadaway. It just gets better and better and better. Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474, or you can go to venturasportfishing.com and get on the Island Spirit. You're going to have a really special time. Guaranteed. All right, let's take a look at our local situation down in San Diego. Good calico bass fishing, good sand bass fishing. That has been the rule, and the weekdays, again, are going to be much better. You're going to get that boat pressure off. John Ho, who's a Friedman Adventures family member, he's a great guy. John, way to go. He caught his biggest bass ever. It was a 6-pound calico bass on board the Dolphin. John loves fishing the Dolphin, raves about the crew, and caught that big calico bass. He also had a limited calico bass on this trip, so you know he's going to be dining well. So some good bass fishing down there. Occasional yellowtail, occasional white sea bass also. We'll see how that all plays out as time goes on up around Oceanside, Dana. We're seeing a lot of calico bass, a lot of shorts in there, but good action for the most part. We'll get you up there around the Long Beach, San Pedro area, where this ocean looks gorgeous this morning. Yesterday was quite windy, as you remember, and today the wind is out of the equation, and that ocean looks absolutely beautiful. We're still waiting for a barracuda and sand bass. Every once in a while, we'll get a pulse of sand bass or calico bass or barracuda, but we're still fishing for sculpin and rockfish, which are kind of caught in the wintertime around here, maybe early spring. So we have yet to realize our summertime kind of bite here on the local scene. A little bit of calico bass up there for the Redondo Special in the Santa Monica Bay, up there around Marina del Rey, a few sand bass, occasional white sea bass or a halibut, something like that. But again, rockfish up there in that neck of the woods also. Our surf fishing report is brought to you by Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, your Southern California surf fishing headquarters. They do it better than anybody. They've got all the bait you'll need to tackle the SoCal surf. They've got all the tackle you'll need to tackle trout, right on up to big bluefin tuna. They've got it all, and they're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. You just have to walk in there, purchase the ruler that they have for you there, and then you'll use that ruler to measure your catch and then post to their Instagram page. It's easy. Just go get the ruler, and they'll give you all the details about the contest. And they're giving a rod away every single month for the biggest fish, and it changes in terms of the species. 1 month it's halibut, then it's a corvina, then it's a spot fin croaker. You got to get all those details by going to Big Fish Bait and Tackle. Some pretty good yellowfin too. Or I wish, huh? Some pretty good yellowfin croaker fishing going on up in the Santa Monica Bay. Here in Surfside, I saw a guy here this morning catch a really big fat yellowfin croaker, so maybe that's rebounding against some halibut in the SoCal surf right now. Throwing those Lucky Craft lures is a great way, but this is the time of the year where we fish corvina in the short water, in the shallow water. You see where this wave is breaking right now, right on the beach, or right beyond that, you're going to find corvina right in there, right in front of where that wave is breaking right now. You see this wave starting to break. It's in that short water. That's where the corvina are. They're rummaging through the sand, looking for clams, looking for mussels, looking for sand crabs, and you want to exploit that by getting your bait in that short water. It is so much fun. I know you're going to really enjoy it. All right, hey, up in San Francisco, out of Sausalito, California, the Outer Limits. I just want to mention it because, man, check out those lings. At limits of ling cod, limits of rockfish, along with 6 halibut, our friends up there in that neck of the woods have had some superior fishing up there in Burgess Morro Bay area. Great ling and rock fishing going on up there also. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me this lovely Tuesday morning. As always, thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for sharing the videos. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. There's so much more info there. You can join me if you want to do an inner harbor fishing trip where we find some big halibut, great bass fishing, or if you want to fish the breakwall, the legendary breakwall nighttime bass fight. You can do it with yours truly. We've hooked up with a guide, 2 people go in a skiff with us, and we're doing that on the weekends. You want information on that, just send me a text at 657-227-6459, and I'll get you all the details. In the meantime, have a beautiful Tuesday morning. It is absolutely gorgeous. And if I don't see you, maybe at the Orange County Fair for the last week, this week, I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.